And welcome back here to the WEC. Matt Provence joined by assistant coach Joe Gutowski. Highlanders getting a 69-65 win over the number one ranked at this point of the season, UMBC Retrievers. Joe, great comeback. You guys were down 10. What was the biggest difference in this game from your eyes?
I think the biggest thing for us in the second half is offensively we started to move the ball. We were 1 assist, 8 turnovers at the half, and we came out in the second half and we really started driving for others, playing for others, and it allowed our offense to go. When our guards got in the paint, got shots, it got our front court going. Kel DeGraff made a big 3. San Antonio Brinson kind of took over, and that was because we were able to reverse the ball side to side, get their defense off balance, and we kind of started making them off balance a little bit, and it helped us playing for each other.
You know, I think about confidence because we've seen San Antonio Brinson over the years has been a guy that can take over a game or sometimes, maybe even disappears in a game. But, this was his chance to shine, I thought. He was isolated a few times, went very strong to the rack, was very physical on getting any missed shots or any rebounds. How important is that style of play for San Antonio moving forward?
It's huge. We kind of challenged San Antonio all week. He was coming in against Brandon Horvath, who's a first-team All-League kid. He's 3rd in the league in scoring and 5th in rebounding. So Tone knew that we kind of needed him today, and we needed a big effort, and he really stepped up in the second half. And when Tone gets the ball and he drives it to the rim and he gets going downhill and he doesn't settle for jump shots, he's really, really aggressive. And, defensively his energy kind of picks up a little bit and he gets more rebounds that way too. So he had a huge spark for us in the second half and, kind of put us over the top as we were making that comeback.
Yeah, and along those lines, too, Zach Cooks has had, a little bit of an adjustment period playing America East-style basketball. But, once he got to the rim the first time and converted, I think that's when he's at his best, when he's constantly attacking the rim. And that, too, was a big part of the comeback today.
Yeah, and Zach, we say we take him for granted sometimes. Zach is Zach, and his ability of how dynamic he is to get in the paint. Zach allowed the game to come to him a little bit more. And off of reversals, and we played downhill a little bit. And after the ball changed sides, he got some driving lanes, and it really opened it up for the rest of the guys. And Zach commands so much attention with his ability to score the basketball, and rightfully so. He's done it now for 3 years, and when we've kind of been as Zach goes, we go, and we're really lucky to have a player like him in our backcourt.
You mentioned earlier when you were talking the name Kel DeGraff, and I think when he came here to NJIT, kind of a big guy who wanted to play outside the perimeter, shoot from distance, not really get too involved in the paint or down low. And you look at the points he scored in the paint, but more importantly, the defense he provided helping out on Horvath and Spazajevic. To me, it's amazing how much of a different player and a better player he's become here the last year.
No question. And Kel's starting to play more consistent minutes. And, we kind of told him after the game this might be his most complete game in an NJIT uniform. And just defensively, his ability to hold his ground inside and go to the glass and remain vertical. And, the stat sheet has him as 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. But he had 3 block shots, and he had he altered numerous shots for them. And then, offensively, he kind of makes us go a little bit. He knows our offense. He's skilled. He can handle the ball from the perimeter. He's comfortable facing the basket and making shots. And, his growth has been great. And he put in a ton of work in the weight room. As we were talking before, Matt, last year he wouldn't have been able to do this defensively. And all that work he's put in the weight room has really paid off. And he's seeing it now, and his confidence is just growing and growing.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And obviously, to have a comeback like you guys did down 10, at times in the second half, the defense really stepped it up, turned the turnover battle right on its head. Because for a while there, NJIT was in the minus. You finished in the plus. What about what you guys did defensively helped to make this comeback possible?
We kind of defensively, Zach set the tone. And, he did a great job on Rogers in the first half and early in the second half making it tough. But then, we were plus 26 in the paint, and I think they got the ball down there, but I think it goes back to our front court in Kel and San Antonio protecting the paint and finishing plays and making things tough. Their bigs didn't get easy one-on-ones, and they also didn't get a lot of uncontested shots. So I think their ability to hold their ground, and then guys knowing personnel in the scout and knowing who were shooters and who were drivers, I think allowed us to be in good position, and the guys followed the game plan that coach had really well.
Yeah, certainly. And before I let you go, it's interesting because with this format, how we've played this year, the Highlanders have had no problem, at least at home here, taking the first game of the back-to-back games. It's been the second game. Struggled scoring the ball against Maine, struggled scoring the ball a little bit against Stony Brook. This is a team that's going to be hungry to get back out there. And it was a physical game to come back after a game where there was a lot of pounding. They let the guys play a little bit down in the paint. So for you, what's the key? If you could say to yourself, this is the one thing you guys have to understand if we're going to come out here and play next game like we did today, what would that be?
I think the 2 things right off the bat would be we've got to play unselfishly. We can't go one-on-one. We've got to play as a team as we did in the second half. And then our bench today, our bench looking at, we were +6, and Booty Butler gave us great minutes. Miles Coleman came in the second half and had a couple huge plays, the reverse layup, and another guy we talked about before, Diego Willis. Like, his energy when he comes in is second to none, and he gives us a great spark defensively, and I think those guys are going to have big opportunities tomorrow. And UMBC, they play their starters a lot of minutes. We played our starters a lot of minutes, so we've got to recover tonight, get in the ice baths, get our treatment, and be ready to go in the morning. But like we said, we got to figure it out. It's another 40-minute fight tomorrow, and they're going to be hungry, and we have to be even more hungry.
Yeah, hopefully you get a win, you get a sweep, and you can go build a snowman, because you might be doing that, Joe. Well, hey, that's an awesome win. I mean, this is a team, again, UMBC right now tops the league, and the Highlanders have shown the ability with the win at Vermont to be, and a win over Stony Brook to be just as good as anybody. It's just consistency and putting it together. Today, a good step, and hopefully we'll see that consistency again tomorrow.
Absolutely.
All right, Joe Gutowski, assistant coach here at NJIT. Highlanders getting the 69-65 victory over UMBC in the first of the 2 games, hopefully to be played on Monday, weather permitting. But again, big win for the Highlanders. And again, thanks for watching this edition of the Highlander Sports Network.